Coding Train breaking news. All stop, train pull, stop, roll the emergency brake.
Good evening and welcome to the Coding Train. I'm your coding newscaster, Daniel Schiefman. And I have news to report. JavaScript is a coding language that I use with much pain often. All right, I don't know. That was my shtick. Did that come through? Is anybody watching? I was using the chair 2 weeks ago. I haven't been here for a couple weeks, and I really felt like I was a newscaster. I didn't prepare any code, but I spent a lot of time thinking about that little opening bit there. I think maybe I need to some writers and everything. I know nobody even in the chat is acknowledging anything here. Yes, I was so low because I've been having some back pain issues. I'm doing much better now, but 2 weeks ago, I required sitting in the chair to do the coding challenge, which was kind of nice. The thing is, this chair is very high, but it's sort of broken. I think it can go higher, and I think there could be some value to using a chair every once in a while. Welcome. How are you? It is not the evening where I am. It is, in fact, the morning. It is at 10 a.m. New York time. Welcome to the Coding Train. Today is Friday, November 9th. November is going to be one of my lightest months. I missed last week. I don't even remember why. Oh yes, I had to teach a workshop here at NYU on Fridays, last Friday, so I was not available to come do my live stream. And then I'm here today, but next Friday, I'm excited to announce, I won't be here on the live stream, but I will be at, if I could just find a web browser here, thinkercon.com. So this is an event in Huntsville, Alabama on November 17th from 6 to 10 p.m. I believe there are still some tickets available. There are all sorts of amazing people going. I don't think I'm actually listed there, which is fine. But I will be there. So if for some reason you happen to be in Huntsville, Alabama at ThinkerCon next Saturday, I think November 17th is a Saturday, please say hello. But I won't be live streaming next Friday due to traveling to Huntsville, Alabama. All right, so then the week after that, Friday is the day after Thanksgiving. So I might be gone after today for weeks. So I will try to make up with some extra content, possibly in January. I am planning a holiday. End of year holiday Coding Train episode fundraiser for the Processing Foundation. I will announce the date for that at some point soon. I believe the super chat, I have to figure this out, but I believe that I'm able to hook the super chat, not right now, so don't donate yet, hook it directly into the Processing Foundation, which is a United States tax-exempt corporation. So I am working on that. I'm seeing all sorts of people saying hello in the chat. And so now I turn to, what am I possibly going to do today? Oh my God, I'm so excited! I have a whole bunch of things I've been working on with the help of many other people. I'm trying to figure out what order to do this stuff in. So let's think about this. What am I going to do? So first of all, let's go to thecodingtrain.com. And go to the last coding challenge I did, which was coding challenge number 121, logo. Let me bring the, logo, and I'm going to go click to the challenge. And we got a couple submissions here. So let's look at a couple. So what I did in the last coding challenge is I built a very basic logo interpreter. And if you're not familiar with Logo, it is a programming language designed in the 60s, late 60s, I believe. I learned Logo programming as a kid a little bit. It's where you drive a turtle around the screen with commands like forward, right, left, pen up, pen down. So I made a basic interpreter. We can see it right here in the last coding challenge, which just interpreted basic commands. So you can see here, forward 60. If I then say left 90, forward 10, you can see I can start to type commands and have those commands rendered here. But I did not include the repeat command. So that's what I'm going to do today. Now, amazingly, oh my goodness, I don't know what to do about this. I got to figure some stuff out. But I posted the code to a GitHub repository, logo. Oh, why did I put it here? This is supposed to be, what is wrong with me? Let's fix this. This is supposed to be in the coding trains. So transfer ownership, logo, and then I think it's just coding train. I don't know why this is not there already. Let's transfer this repository. Sure, whatever this is. Okay, so I don't know why I didn't have that in the first place, but now if I go to coding train logo, let's see if it made it over yet. Yeah, okay. So this is the repository for all that logo code that I built in the previous challenge. And unbelievably, there are 16 pull requests with suggestions and design ideas for how to implement repeat and using like a recursive regular expression to unroll the repeat and all sorts of other amazing things. And I encourage you to look through these. Maybe I can highlight a few of these. I don't know how to manage this. And I should be a person who knows how to manage something like this. A lot of it right now is time. A lot of it is like, there are so many wonderful suggestions and pull requests here. How could I possibly pick just one? So I need to figure out a mechanism, a way of managing the community better in terms of the open source aspects of the coding train stuff. That aside, let's go quickly take a look at the classic logo interpreter by Anurag Hazra. So this looks like, great. So this, you can see here, is clearly an implementation that has repeat allowed. So we can see this is very similar to what I did, but already with repeat and a little bit more thoughtful interface stuff. Good work. We can look here at the source code. I'm tempted to look at how the repeat was implemented, but I kind of have my own idea of how to do this, so maybe I won't look at it right now. Next up, let's look at this 3D logo experiment by Dave Brachetti. Apologies to Dave if I'm mispronouncing the name. Let's take a look at this. You can see, look, isn't that wild? Wow. This experiment is inspired by the coding train. Breaking news. I have a short one. Breaking news. This experiment is inspired by the coding trains. Coding challenge number 121. It's a simple, oh, there goes that camera, logo-like experiment. But in 3D with additional command up. It's written in JavaScript, and the language used by the user is JavaScript rather than logo. Oh, that's really interesting. Oh, this would be oh, fascinating. It didn't occur to me to do it this way. Look at this. This is amazing. And then like there's a bunch of different, oh, wow. And I wonder, is this using P5 WebGL, or is it using 3JS, or just custom WebGL? I have no idea. I don't see oh no, I do see P5 loaded in here. So anyway, and this looks like the code for it. Fascinating. This is amazing. Okay, I'm going to have to investigate this more on my own. Great. Okay, speak French for your French viewers, says Alex. Rymar PB says not all viewers are French, but it could be fun. Oui. Pour l'amusement. Je parle français, hein? Did I see this message? Simon is asking me. Yes, thank you, Simon. I saw all of your messages about bit shifting. I am not going to cover bit shifting or bit masking today, but it is useful information that I hope that I could use later. All right. When will he even read our chat? Asks Ariane Adako. Right now, I suppose. It's very hard for me to read the live chat while coding and doing all the other stuff I want to do. But this is where I'm going to begin. So let me talk about some other things that I want to do today. I'm just curious. Let me go to ml5js.org. There have been a lot of recent updates on the ML5 machine learning library. So things that I want to cover soon are how to save and load a transfer learning model. I have that series about using transfer learning to do your own custom image classification. But now there's a feature in the library. What I was curious about is whether, I know the feature's in the library, whether we managed to get that in the documentation. So let me see here if there is a save function. I don't think we have it on the website yet. I'm looking here, predict, no. So, so this is something I can still cover it because it's just, the features are there in the library, but haven't made it to the website yet. So that's one thing on my list. Another thing on my list is SketchRNN. Oh, I'm so excited about SketchRNN. If you don't know what SketchRNN is, ooh, it's very exciting. Let me just show you very briefly. Editor.p5js ml5 sketches. I'm going to open up this very basic one and go to the full screen view. Oops. This is a version of SketchRNN running with the ML5 library. And so what is this doing? What this is doing, if I press clear here, it is drawing cats. How is it drawing these cats? This is a machine learning model, SketchRNN. You can find out a lot more about that by looking at the Google Magenta project and the work of David Ha and many other collaborators. But it is a model that is trained on the Google Quick Draw dataset, which is millions and millions of doodles and drawings that people made while playing this Google Quick Draw game. So the model is trained on those drawings, and the machine learning model is then able to imagine new versions. So here's another one. So I'm going to show you how the code for this works and how you can use the SketchRNN machine learning model in your own P5 sketches. And in fact, how you could interact with it so that the user could draw and SketchRNN could take over. So there's a lot of interesting possibilities there. But before I even get to that, what I want to do is actually just show you how to use the raw Google Quick Draw data set itself. So that's sort of step one. So those are my three main things. Logo, challenge, get that repeat thing working. ML5, save and load transfer learning model, and Google Quick Draw data set. All right. So what do you think? Are we good? I'm good. I don't have any coffee. I just have my... Oh, Coding Train is brought to you by water. It is wet. It can be in a jar. You can freeze it and it turns solid to ice. You can boil it. It turns to a gas. You can drink it. It is delicious. Some say you should have 8 cups a day. Everybody in the world should have access to free, to clean water, and I think we should all help make that happen if we can. I don't know. I went off the rails there with my sponsorship. One of these days I'll have a real sponsor. I mean, sometimes I do. Okay. Let's see. I've got pens. So it's 10:15. I'm planning to be here until about noon. And then I might even come back for an extra hour. Since I'm going to be gone for a while, I'm going to try to do as much as I can today, and I have most of the day free. So we'll see what's going on. Water isn't wet. Legitizer says water is not wet. I know, everybody always says that to me. I guess it's wet if, what is the strict definition of wet? The solid phase is less dense than the liquid phase. Oh, science is a wonderful thing. Someday I'm going to learn about that stuff and maybe have some proper science on my channel here. Okay. There are so many wonderful science channels out there. If you watch The Physics Girl, that's one of my favorites. There was this whole video that was released on YouTube about vortex rings and 3 blue, 1 brown, and Physics Girl did this collaboration. It's really cool. There, I'm plugging their content. Okay, let's get set up. All right, I think I am set up and ready to go. And so this will now be Coding Challenge Logo, Part 2. This, in case you are a first-time viewer, the way it works on my channel is I do a live stream. I do a bunch of stuff in the live stream, and then I redundantly re-upload the content later as shorter edited versions of what happens in the live stream. So this is the full experience you are having right now. But if you want the smaller experience that just kind of gets to hopefully the key elements of the stuff that I'm doing, you can tune out, come back later for the uploaded version. And then even crazily, YouTube has this whole YouTube Premieres thing, which I am trying to use very, very cautiously because it's very confusing since I live stream, upload recorded content. So what does it mean to have a edited version of my live stream get uploaded as a YouTube Premiere? I don't know. Okay. What's the name of, everyone wants to know this song. This song is called Tori the Dog, and it is by a wonderful composer whose name is Adam Blau, who is a film and television composer and musician based in Los Angeles. At Adam Blau on Twitter. Tell Adam Blau you love his music and you love the way that it is featured on The Coding Train. Woo! All right. Adam Blau is also the, I don't think I have a version of it here on my little soundboard thing. But Adam Blau is the composer of the Coding Train theme song as well. Okay. I really have to make this happen now. So let me go to, let me just grab this real quick and get this back. Let me leave myself back to where I was before. Okay. And why is that not working? What did I do? Did I break this code before? Oh. Good work. What did I do here? Why is this not working? Wait, it was working a second ago. I was just demonstrating it. Wasn't I just demonstrating this a second ago? Oh no, that was the version that was here. All right. What did I do? Let's just grab this version. I probably had a bug in my code. There we go. Okay. Wait, we're gonna start from here. This is the Coding Challenge 122 or maybe 121 Part 2. Who knows? Numbering will sort itself out. And I have this. I have this. Let's put this over here. And let's go here. All right. All right, everyone. Oops. Ah. Hold on. Oh, weird. What's going on here? Oh, shoot, my laptop is not plugged in. That should fix it. Great, okay. Hello, welcome to part 2 of the Logo Interpreter Coding Challenge. Now, if you watched the first part, you might remember that I left off here. All I have is a logo interpreter. What is logo? In case you don't remember, logo is a, this is my one start over because I had this, I meant to have this available. Okay. As if I only ever start over once. Okay. Hello, welcome to Coding Challenge Logo Interpreter Part 2. I'm a little bit scared of this. All right, so what's going on? Where are we? Why am I here? You might remember me from Logo Interpreter Coding Challenge number 121. Look, that's me. I'm almost like wearing the same clothes. This is a challenge where I looked at the Logo programming language, a language designed in 1967. Turtle graphics, you might be familiar with. I talked a bit more about it in that video. Encourage you to read about the history and also to check out the Logo Foundation, which is a foundation that supports a variety of wonderful initiatives, including Scratch Day. So check that out. But what I did was I made this logo interpreter that is able to interpret simple commands like forward 60, left 90, forward 100, right? So wait a sec. You guys, please don't distract me in the chat with lots of emojis. Oh, okay. Because it makes me think my microphone stopped working. Okay. All right. The chat, I can't look at the chat. Okay. Logo interpreter. What was I saying? Logo interpreter something. Previously in the coding train, that's a good one. Okay. So what did I miss here? What I missed is I only supported certain commands like forward, okay, right. I'll say logo interpreter, which Mathieu will magically figure out a nice way to edit this. You guys are all laughing at me. The chat is full of rage. Okay, I'm just seeing. All right, this logo interpreter can parse these commands, but I didn't actually implement many commands that are kind of crucial to actually. All right. Draw a turtle first. Okay. The chat. I'm not looking at the chat. So while this implementation of logo, interpreting these logo commands like forward, left, forward, etc. works, it's missing crucial components. And so there are many commands in logo, and I implemented pen up, pen down, some of these, but one of the most important ones that I did not implement is repeat. So this is a tutorial from Brown University page about the history of logo that I'll also link to in this video's description. But what I want to attempt to do is add the repeat functionality, which you would think would be like a really simple thing. But it's a little bit more complicated than, well, there are some simple ways probably to do it. And I will point out the fact that when I posted this code, 16 pull requests came in with suggestions and techniques for how to implement repeat. And I would encourage you to go check all of these out. I want to highlight one of them that was pretty interesting to me. Let me look for it. Regex implementation, is this the one I'm looking for? Yeah, this one. Oh yeah, I love this, which is just basically using a regular expression to search for the repeat command and then just replace the repeat command in the string itself with what's the thing to repeat multiple times. So kind of like unrolling the string recursively with a regular expression. Pretty wild implementation. I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to try to spin up my own. So this is my idea. Do I have a marker? All right, so, oops. This is my idea. So one thing that I think will help is object-oriented programming. What if I have this idea of a command class? So I make this idea of a command class, and it has the name of the command. That could be like forward, left, expand up, etc. It has an argument. So if the command is forward, maybe I would have an argument like 100. And by the way, the command could be repeat, and I know I'm about to leave your view here. Repeat, and then the argument could be a number also, because you're going to repeat something a certain number of times. So you have this idea of a command class. And then maybe what I think what would be useful is to create a parser object. And actually, instead of using split, so I used split as a way of like looking at the logo instructions and just splitting it into a big array. But I think what I want to try to do in the most like sort of absurd thing ever is just actually step through the string one character at a time, so that I have the idea of a parser is keeping track of an index. So the parser is always has basically like a pointer into the command and can step through, and if it finds repeat, it can then pull out a chunk. It can do all sorts of stuff. So if what I'm kind of thinking about here is this idea of a command. A command could just be a thing that you execute with an argument, but if the command is repeat, then it could also have a list of, it could have an array of its own commands, that those are the things you repeat. And then inside of this array, there could be a command that is a repeat command. So it could be nested and recursive. So this is my idea. I have not actually, I thought about this quite a bit, and probably helped by looking at everybody's pull requests. So I don't know to what extent this is like an original idea or just came from suggestions, but through osmosis, my brain has come up with this idea, but I have not tried to implement it. So what you are about to watch is me actually trying to implement this for the first time. And it might be a terrible idea, and things will go wrong, and you'll probably notice this video is 342 hours long. But if you want to stick with me, here we go. So hold on, let's move to here. Okay, so let me go to the code. I'm gonna keep the code that I had before. I'm gonna add a new JavaScript file called parser. Maybe it should be interpreter. I don't know why I'm gonna call it parser. Parser.js. I'm gonna write a parser class. And the idea is that when you create the parser, you give it some text. So this is the full text that it needs to parse. And then also it has an index which starts at 0. Okay? And one of the functions that I would have here is like next token. So it could maybe look and sort of like find the next token or something in this like text by like stepping through it with the index. Okay, that's what I'm thinking about. Now, I am also going to then create another JavaScript class called command. And this would be, this is what I'm talking about. It would have a name and an argument. And then it could also have potentially subcommands. You know, recursively, a command could also include a list of other commands. Okay, so this is my idea. Now, let's go to sketch.js, and basically, this Go turtle function, I'm actually going to just basically take out what I did before, because I don't think this, I'm not going to use split anymore, and I'm not going to have my own index here. I'm going to say let parser equal new parser with that code. So let's just, for example, say console.log and parser next token. So let me at least see if I can get parser next token to work. And so, and this should probably return the token, so return test. So if I just run this now, parser's not defined, right? I always forget this. I've added a bunch of new JavaScript classes, so I want to make them separate, reference those files here. Probably should get into like bundling and building and all that sort of stuff at some point. Parser and command. So let me go back to Sketch, refresh. Okay, so great, I see test there. I have got my command, but I didn't really get the token. Right? What I need to do is here, I really need to say, all right, so I'm going to step through the text one character at a time. So what I mean by that is I'm going to say let car equal this.text car at this.index. Okay? So while the character is not a, I guess I could use a regular expression here. I want to, well, let me just do it this way for a second. While the character is not a space, what I want to do is I'm going to start with an empty token. And I am going to say, I don't need a third. While the character is not a space, token plus equal the character equals this dot text dot car at plus this dot index. So what's going on here? The idea here is, and again, I could use regular expression and substring, but I'm trying to do this in a very manual way to understand it. What I'm doing is I'm saying, let me look at the first character. And as long as that character is not a space, I'm going to add that character to my token and then look at the next character. And this is basically, remember, this is something I covered in the first part of the challenge. This.index plus this.index is increasing the index by 1 and giving back that new value. So now if I say return token, let's see what happens. Refresh. This text chat at car at, little typo there. There we go, look. I got the first token, that's great. Now, what if I now want to say here, next token. Oh, it got a space. So look at this. A space is not a valid token. So what I can actually do here, back into parser, is I can actually say if car equals a space, return increase the index, go to the next one, and return this.next token. So this is a way of basically skipping. And again, this is definitely a clear example of, I'll refactor this later. I need like a little theme music there for that. But this is like this is a start, okay? So this is basically saying like ignore the space, and so now we can say I've got forward 60. But here's what I want to do really. Here I want to say, and let me use a regular expression here. So I'm going to say like there's a category of command which is like a movement command: forward, backward, right, left. So I'm going to say that would be a regular expression that is forward or backward. This is FB followed by D, or left or right followed by a T. And I should probably also make sure it's the full string. So put this beginning and end. So now I could say, let token equal parser next token if movement test token. So if it's a movement command, then create a new command with token and parser next token. Right? Because I think I said a command is, I have the name of the command and the argument. The argument always comes next. So again, I'm not doing a lot of error checking for people making mistakes in their logo code, but we'll get to that later, I suppose. Okay, I'm setting myself up for hopefully being able to do a repeat, right? So where am I here, right? So let's just see, and actually let's make an array of commands. I mean, I might want to put all the commands into an array, or I might want to process them one at a time. There's various ways of doing this, but let's actually put it into an array right now. I think that'll be helpful. Whoops, okay. So let's see, and now let's look at commands. Okay, refresh. Look at that. I've got a command with arguments, with the name is forward, the argument is 60, and it doesn't have any subcommands because it's not a repeat. Whew, I like this so far. Okay, so now, this is where I'm going to get into trouble. Let's do something like while parser is not empty, while parser has remaining tokens. I don't know, I'll come up with a better name for that. While parser has remaining tokens, keep doing this. So what does it mean here in the parser to say remaining tokens? Well, on the one hand, I can just return this dot index is less than this dot text dot length. Because if the index has moved past the end of the text, then there's nothing left. I'm wondering if this is going, I bet you I'm going to get an infinite loop here, but let's just give it a try anyway and see, let's see what happens here. Right, because if it doesn't if none of these things, let's see what happens. I'm sure I'm going to have an infinite loop. Yes. So I have an infinite loop. I can tell because everything went blank. This is just, so I'm going to actually, unfortunately, have to kill this page. Whoops. And start over. So let's think about why I have an infinite loop and I need to correct this. I mean, one thing I could do is just for now, I could, so next token, there are situations where if it hits the bracket is not a space, bracket is not a, I guess what I could do here is, if car, I mean, this is really terrible, but I can't, or if it's one of these brackets, then return, then also go up by an index and return that character. So this definitely accounts for another thing. So again, this could be condensed and I could maybe use some more clever ways of doing this, but if it's a space, ignore. If it's a bracket, whoops. If it's, and I'm going to want to do something for if it's a repeat, but anyway, if it's a bracket, send that back. And otherwise, accumulate until a space or bracket. But okay, there's so many problems with this, but I have to build it one step at a time. If you're willing to stick with me and keep watching this video, then more power to you. Okay, let's see if I manage to not have an infinite loop. And I probably, I forgot something important. It could have been caching. So let's do this. Still infinite loop. Yeah, all right. I have to be more thoughtful about this. Well, one thing I can do right now let's do this. This is a kind of a nice little debugging technique. Oh, actually, no. There's a problem here. There's an even bigger problem. Where am I? Parser. While character is not a space, keep going up, and this could get stuck, or while character is space and this dot index is less than this dot text dot length. So I've also got to check to make sure I'm not hitting the end. That might actually just be the only thing I needed here. Let's see, can I refresh a page? Probably not. Let's see. Oh, this is really awkward. Infinite loops are so sad. I really should, I have a thing that there we go. Okay. All right, so that was definitely the problem. Now at least my infinite loop is gone. Let's look at these commands. So forward 60, right 120. So this is good. This is what I wanted it to be. But I need to be able to account for the repeat. So this is good. This is giving me a list of commands. But what if the token that I get back, now I need to deal with repeat. So if it is a movement, I should also have something for a pen command, which would really just be matching a P at the beginning, right? Any of the pen commands match just a P. So I should say else if pen test token. So a pen command is just a command with just the token, no argument. So, and now I could, in theory, if I added a pen up command, we would see pen up is in there with no argument, but that's fine. So that's good. So this would work. Oh, why isn't it? Oh, it's not drawing anything because I'm not bothering to draw. Sorry, I keep opening up terminal by accident. Okay, so I have now written a parser. I've now written a parser that can go from token to token and can create commands and knows how to handle any movement command or any pen command. Oh, and this dot remaining tokens. Ah, yes, great suggestion from the chat. Abdillah Bagat suggests that here, I like this suggestion, that this is already a test, which is this dot remaining tokens, because I have that function, right, that already tests that here. So great. Okay, still working. All right. Now it's time to deal with the repeat. So I need to handle the repeat in a very unique way. And this is where I'm really going to get lost. So repeat is just matching the repeat command. So this could be a regular expression here. So else if repeat test token. So now what if I get a repeat command? Then what I need to do is say, so let command is a new command with the token. Oh, and also the next token. So I first get the number. Then what I need to do is I need to pull out. I need to pull out everything within the brackets. So then what I want to say is the to repeat is the parser get repeat. So I want to write a new function that then in the parser looks for that starting bracket, looks for the end bracket, and just gives everything back. Okay, so in the parser now, I'm going to say get repeat. So I should first basically find that first bracket. So I want to, in theory, there could be spaces. So car equals this dot text. Oh, this is really hard the way that I've got this text dot car at this dot index. Should probably put that in a function. And then if while car, I guess I could say, you know what, I could do this. While this is not equal to this opening bracket, while it's not equal to this opening bracket, oh, plus plus, right? I want to go ahead to the next one, but stick where I am, then just to keep going. And I guess I need to make sure, and this dot remaining tokens. Now I have found, basically I have found I'm going to say index, I'm just going to say the index, this dot index. This should console log where the index is. So I need to put a repeat in here. So let's start with something really simple, like repeat 3 this. And let's refresh. All right. It got forward, it got right, but it got, ooh, weird. And it said 10. Is that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Okay, so now it's at index 10. Oh, perfect. So now, I love this. Okay, so commands push. So this is actually a function. Oh, I got to make like a sub parser of the sub thing. Yikes. I mean, the recursion aspect of this, right? Because a repeat could have a repeat inside of it. If a repeat couldn't have a repeat inside of it, I'd kind of be done. Maybe I should do that first. This is going to be a really long video. But I know I keep saying that, but it just is. Okay, so now what I want is to find the last one. So let start equal this dot index. Let end equal, now I need to do this again, move along here. And let end equal this dot index. And then return this dot text substring start end. Let's see if this does what I think it should do. And then let's see if it does what I think it should do. OK. Commands, token, parser next token. Let's just console log this. Console log to repeat. OK. Yes, oh, OK, look at that. This is the thing to repeat, and the command is the repeat. Perfect. Ah, yes. OK, but minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. So here in parser, end minus 1, because the index went 1 at 1 is actually the index past that final bracket. So now, there we go. The command is repeat. It's named repeat, and now I just need to fill the command with an array of the stuff that's inside of that to repeat. So this, OK, I have an idea now. This function parse, let commands, I'm trying to think here, parse, I need to write a recursive function now, where I come back and do this then for those subcommands. OK, so let commands equal, and this is going to be weird. Let me just try to do parser dot parse. Is this what I'm going to let commands equal parser dot parse? Should all this be in the parser? And then this would, I don't know about putting this in the parser. If this is in the parser, parse, oh, this is hard. OK. While this remaining tokens, next to this, so this, I'm not so sure about putting this in here, but I'm going to. So everywhere I said parser, I'm now saying this. And then I am saying let commands be an array. And then basically at the end here, I'm going to say return commands. Just give me a sec. I'm not going to do the recursion yet. So let's see what happens here. And then in Sketch, let commands equal parser.parse console.log commands. Oh, this is crazy. All right, sketched. All right, that's good. That's good. Hold on. I'm thinking. Oh, there's a console log here. Where's there's an extra console log? 25 and 31. Oh, I have it twice. Okay, so now, now, this is the hard part. All right, so I have this to repeat. And then what I want to say is command.commands equals parse this dot parse to repeat. This is what I want to do, to repeat. Okay, so this isn't exactly going to work. This is the idea of what I want to do. But it's not right yet. So close. It's not right because the parse command inside, it's working with this particular block, the like sort of global block of text. Maybe it makes more sense for that not to be, I guess I have to create a new, oh, sorry. maybe it makes sense for that not, oh wait, no. I think I have an idea. All I have to do is make a new parser here with the to repeat stuff. And then that equals parser.parse, right? And then this goes here, right? Because then it would have, I think this might work. Could this really work? Let's think about this. I'm basically saying, hey, make a parser with all this code, parse it, and give me the commands. The parser is going to do that and return that array of commands, but internally, oh, wait. Yeah, it's going to make some, I think this, I mean, it's so hard to speak this. Let's run it. This is going to produce a lot of errors or an infinite loop for sure. Cannot read property length of undefined parser.js line 7. This.text. Oh, whoops. I took that out when I was messing around with this idea. Okay. I'm not playing the drum effect. Okay, whoa. Command, repeat. Ah! Oh! I think that worked. That's crazy. Oh my goodness. All right, I think this worked. Okay. Can we take a moment here to like see if this makes sense? Let's try to map this out, right? I feel like hold on, sorry. This camera went off. Okay, so I think this is a case where I was like figuring it out, trying to explain it all at the same time, but I don't know that I did that super successfully. So let me take a minute to try to unpack what just happened. Okay? And the idea here is that I have something like this. Repeat 3, forward 60. Can you see that? Yes. So the parser finds the first token and makes a command, repeat with 3. Then the parser, because it found a repeat, asks for this as basically like a substring, and it makes a new parser object with only this. So the first parser object started with everything. The new parser object just works on this and makes a command. So I really should put this in like a JSON-like way. So the idea here, and let's add some other stuff. The way that it should work, imagine if this had forward 60 here. So the idea is that I would have an array with commands, and the first command would have name, forward, argument 60. Then the next command would have name, right? Repeat, argument 3, but we notice it's a repeat. It then goes and makes a parser for this. And the same way that this is a big array, the parser now works on this to put it in an array here with like objects like forward, 60, etc. So in theory, this could even have another repeat inside, and that repeat would be in this array with its own subcommands. Hopefully that helps a little bit more. But let's actually test this theory. So let me go now to, I'm afraid to like type stuff in here and break it. So I think what I'm going to do is so let's start with like forward 60, repeat 3. Let's just start with that first. So we can see we got a forward 60, no commands, and a second command is a repeat 3 with 2 other commands. Okay. Now, what if I then put in here, let me do it out here, because what if I do another repeat forward, so repeat 4, forward 10. Let's look at this. Okay, so there's still forward 60, then there's a repeat, and the repeat argument is 3. There are 3 commands, one of which is a repeat, which has a subcommand in it. All right, I think this works. I mean, I'm sure there's needs error handling, but the basic idea is actually working here. Wow, this is very exciting to me. All right, so what I need to do now is follow the instructions. This should be, in theory, this should be the easy part. So now that I have this commands, I can just say for let command of commands. And now I forgot how I did this in the first place. Because I have this, oh boy, this is bad. I have this like dictionary thing that I made to like execute these different functions. So what do I want to do? This is called commands. So I'm going to call this command dictionary. Well, I'll just call this commands. Command list. Command list. It's not a list. Command lookup. Command look up. Boy, that's the awkward variable name. So what I want to do is now I want to say the name is command.name and the argument is command.argument. And then I'm going to say I have to figure out if it's a repeat. So if name equals repeat, then for let I equal 0, I is less than arg, I plus plus, right? Because I want to do whatever is, and then I'm going to go through its commands. I guess I could say, oh boy. I need another recursive function to traverse it. Oh boy. All right, one step at a time, people. I'm just going to do this. So I just want to see like what happens here now. So whoops. Let me go back to something simpler without anything nested. Forward 60, repeat 3 times. Okay, so this idea works, but this needs to be a function. Like I need more recursion. Maybe I should be just doing this as I'm going in the, so execute, I'm going to call this execute, and executes a list of commands. So if you execute a list of commands and then you get the repeat, you need to execute command.commands. Right? So in other words, I'm looking at the commands. If it is a repeat, then I want to execute the subcommands that are in the subcommand list a certain number of times. Otherwise, I can now say basically what I did in the very first version of this challenge, which is to do what? Command list name arg. So the idea is I'm looking up the command list, in the command list, by the name with an argument. So that will then go here and say if it's forward, it will execute this function, moving the turtle forward by an amount. I think there's a lot of redundant extra code now, but this is fine. Let's see what happens. Syntax error. Oh, this has to say function. I'm not in an object anymore. All right. What is that 100, 100? So I didn't execute anything. Execute commands. Command list is not defined. Command lookup, okay. I can't remember what I call anything. Command lookup. Hey! This is working. Wow, okay. Dare I say this is complete? Does anybody have access to the code that produces this design? I'm going to take a break and try to find it. All right, I'm taking a little break here for a second. Because I think in one of the pull requests, where was the one? I think it was the one with the parser, this one. It has this picture, yeah, so it's this. By the way, when does it... All right. Whoops. Okay. Click on the photo on Wikipedia, it shows it. Oh. Yeah. But what, I don't have a lot of these commands. I don't have these commands supported. So I won't bother. All right. And also, I think it should be going up first, but I'll fix that. Okay. And let me just... Okay. 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 The chat really seems off the rails. Every time I look over there, there's some kind of discussion. People seem to be maybe being a little bit mean to each other. Is there anybody who's a mod can help clean things up over there? Or just please be nice to each other in the chat and maybe don't argue about which laptop is better. Logo people. Okay. All right, all right, all right. Here it comes. Okay. Okay, I'm back. I found, thank you to, well, hold on, let me just put the thank you there. Regex, sorry. Here we go. Okay. All right, thank you to Stellar Tux on GitHub who posted this pull request. I now have this command. The pen up should work. Ooh. I might not have accounted, but I think I accounted for pen up correctly. We're going to find out. This command should produce that design. And it's got nested repeats, all sorts of crazy stuff. So let's go ahead and see. If I just paste it in here, no. All right, so let's look at what's going on here. I've got a command repeat 36 times with 5 things. Left 10, pen up undefined, forward 1, pen down undefined, repeat 120, and forward 2, and write 2. So it looks like my data structure here is correct. The question is, why is this not working? We have to figure this out. So let's take this and put it just in here. So the page loads with this. And all right, so what's missing here? So let's take some things out and just take out this second repeat. Oh, I wonder if the pen up and pen down, or if just the scale is so much larger. Canvas is too small. So this might actually be a case where the canvas is just too small. So let's make the canvas way bigger. Oh, and am I not starting in the middle? The turtle. Oh, the turtle needs to start in width divided by 2, height divided by 2. Boy, really big. Do I need to stack the position before repeat? Okay, hold on. Mathieu, this is going to be like an edited out thing, because I wonder if, I don't think that I need to stack the repeat. It should, the recursion should do it in the correct order. I mean, one thing that I could do to be sure is just console log name arg, right? So, right, this, right? Maybe the pen up and the pen down is not working correctly. Yeah, I should just make the length smaller. But I'm worried that making the length smaller, all right, let's see. Left 10, forward 1. This is forward 1 and right forward 2. I mean, there's not really a way to make that smaller. What I'm thinking about here, hold on, I have to think about this. Hold on. I wanted to test pen up and pen down. So hold on. Forward 100, pen up, left, forward 100. I think my pen up and pen down is breaking stuff. Let's look at what I'm doing with pen up and pen down. It should actually be fine. Forward 100. Hold on. Someone's telling me there's an issue with Go Turtle. No, this starts, it resets everything. It restarts the parsing. I think this is right. I'm just not convinced the pen up and pen down is working. Right, that works. Left 100, left 90, forward 100. So what if I say, and then left 90, forward 100? What if I say, pen up, yep. So pen up, and then if I say pen down, pen up and pen down is doing something really weird. So there's definitely an issue with pen up and pen down. Is it in the dictionary? I could have thought that I sort of thought that it was. Yeah, turtle pen equals false, turtle pen equals true. Reset, pen equals 2, rotate, translate. That sure didn't matter. What's going on with pen up and pen down? The error is only because of that error is only because of your live editing. No, I know that. So a copper France, it's working in your version? Interesting. Akatsuyo is giving an excellent suggestion there. Let me try doing this without the pen down or pen up. Keep track of the nesting repeat depth. Last element of no arguments. Is your pen regex correct? Yeah, hold on everybody. Okay, I need to figure this out. So what I want to do actually is get rid of the live editing thing. So that's a thing that I can do very easily with changing this to changed. So now, and let me go back to making it like smaller, just so we can see this better. Can you see that? Probably not. Let me make it even smaller. Whoops. So what I want to do is just say like forward 1, 100. So forward 50. Okay. So now I can only execute it when I hit tab. So I can say left 90, forward 50. Okay. And if I were to say then left 90, forward 50, if I put now forward 50, pen up, and then left 90, forward 50, then pen down. Okay, so it is working. That's working. Pen up and pen down is working the way it's expected. Now, what if I were to do, so that's not the problem. What if I were to do forward 1, left, like forward 5, left 5, just that, then repeat 10. Okay, so that's giving me like a little circle. And okay, right? This makes sense. All right, so this is making sense. Okay, so that gives me a circle. And what if closing brackets, it stops when the first one, which could be a nested one. Oh, Lucas. Okay, wait. I think there's a problem with the closing bracket because it stops when found the first one, which could be a nested one. Well, this will be a long video, but this part's going to be edit it out. Yeah. Forward 5, left 10. So like I should be able to do this math, right? So repeat 50. Okay. That's an arc because it's 50 pixels. Okay. So what if I then wanted to say inside of here, repeat, so repeat left, like what if I went and said also like forward, so what if I repeated this now 10 times going less, forward, and also to the left, but a lower angle. This is what's going to break, I think. Yeah. So where did this go wrong? I don't think it went wrong in here because forward 5, it's going to repeat this 10 times. And it's going to repeat this 10 times. Ooh, look at this. There we go. That's the mistake. There's definitely a problem there. So that fixed that. Go back to that. Ah! Okay. All right. So there's an issue of the last, people were telling me this. I know you were all telling me this. Last arg is not going. Okay, fix that. For that is finding backwards with counting depth. Okay. Yeah, okay. So this is definitely, it's what we said, but you don't listen to us, right? No, you know, it's very, you try like figuring this out and reading the chat. It goes by very fast. And you're also like, you're at a different moment in time than I am, so what you're typing is not related to what I'm saying. It's very hard. Okay. The Tasteful Toasty writes, this is the problem I commented ages ago. Well, this should be nothing new. Okay. All right, so all right. So Mathieu, this will be a nice little spot to edit. Let's go to, let me go back to, let's put it back to that. Let's go, remember, this is fine. Off by 1 in the string copy. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to fix this, actually. Okay. Okay, everyone. Okay, I'm back. Thank you to Stellar Tux, who suggested, actually has this code, repeat 36, left 10, pen up, forward 1, pen down, repeat 120, then forward 2, right 3 to get this particular pattern, which is similar to what is on the Wikipedia logo page. So I have this code pasted here, and now what I'm going to attempt to do is go to my implementation and paste it in here. Now, I have to admit something. During that edit point, when I was doing this in the live stream, I already did this, and it didn't work. So this is actually not going to work. It didn't give me an error, and it seems like it's OK, but there's some really big problem here that took me quite a while to find, even though the chat had found it about 4.5 hours before I did. You could go link to the live stream if you want to view this whole thing. But let's look. Repeat 36, these 5 commands. So this is right. And left 10, pen up, undefined, forward 1, pen down, undefined. That's right. Then the repeat here, repeat 120 times, forward 2, right blank. So it's not actually picking up this 3 here. Let's try this. There we go. Suddenly it works if I put a space there. Why? So now I have to figure, that's as far as I got in my 1 hour of debugging. Now I have to figure out why. What is it about my code that causes it to break unless there's a space there? So in the parser here, it is getting, when it's looking for that closing bracket and going up, where is the space? It's not picking up the last argument here. But it picks up, let me just see here, if I do this, whoops, like this, does this pick up? It picks up 120 here only if there is a nested one. So let me, here, if there's a nested one, whoa, ooh, something terrible. Oh, I forgot to put a number here. If there is a nested one, I know Mathieu, you're going to have to do another edit point here because that. People are laughing. People in the chat are saying, I still don't know why. It's reading the first bracket close for both. Got it. That makes sense. Because it's parsing this. Really? Is that what it is? Outer one is dropped, so it'll drop the, let me think about this, right? Okay, hold on, let's go back to here, parser. If it finds a repeat, get repeat, where's get repeat? Yeah. That's the start. And it finds the I got it. So it's grabbing. Why does the space fix it? That's so weird. So I don't understand. I think I understand the problem, but I don't understand why the space fixes it. Because when it finds the first repeat, it's going, and it stops here. It needs to count how many of these there are. Okay, and find the matching bracket. All right. Bing, we're going to try this again. Hello, OKG11. Welcome to the live stream portion of the coding train, where it's now been an hour and a half of me still working on this. Okay. We're gonna do some little fake smoke and mirrors thing to go back. Close these. Okay, got it. Oh, Kelly asked in the chat, what would happen if you did repeat 3? Yeah, it might parse that right. That's an interesting question. Okay, I'm going to do the counting of the brackets. Sensei Cloco asked, why not try to debug it step by step? I definitely should have done that. That would have been better. Okay. Okay, I'm back. What you don't realize is about an hour passed of me doing some horrific debugging. And if you want to find that, I will link to the live stream version of this edited challenge in the video description. The thing that you're watching right now, which is not, even though I am live, it's not this. Okay. This is the code using only repeats, left, pen up, and pen downs that will create this particular pattern. And if I go and grab this, I've pasted it here. And if I go back to my example and I paste it in, we've already seen. It doesn't work. What's wrong? Well, weirdly, I'm going to show you something weird. If I put like a space here and a space here, all of a sudden, we have the pattern we were looking for all along. But there's some weird, buggy stuff going on. Why is it like a space but no space? Here is the issue. So this took a while to debug. I will show you a way of finding the way I found the error was by looking through. First of all, the chat found this way before me and kept suggesting it. And I had to look and look and look. Where I found here, all of a sudden, in this last repeat here, this command write, it didn't pick up the argument 3. It's blank. So that's certainly why I'm not getting the pattern that I'm expecting to get. Now, why is it doing that? Well, the secret to that, it's not a secret so much, lies in the fact of the way that I parsed this bracket, right? Remember, if I have a repeat, if I go here, right, I look for the first opening bracket, that's the start, the first ending bracket, and that's the end. But what if there's a nested repeat? If there's a nested repeat, this is the starting bracket, this is the ending bracket. So it completely ignores. It pulls it off here and then loses, the way it's parsing, it loses that 3. And somehow having a space in between there, it kind of was able to still get that 3 by accident. So what I really need to do is match the number of brackets. So while this.text.car at this.index++ does not equal the bracket, this is this.index. So I think I need to do this in a different way. I need to count the number of brackets. So, all right. So bracket count equals 0. Okay? And then, oh, this should be easy, but I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm having trouble thinking. Let bracket count equal 0. So first, let me just do the bracket counts. Let's just do that. So now, basically, I could say like, okay. Like if I just sort of went all the way to the remaining tokens just for a second, while it has remaining tokens, I could say the character is this.text car at this.index++. And if car equals a bracket, this bracket, bracket count ++. Bracket count. And then I'm going to say temporary equals this.index. And then set this.index back to temporary. So this is me just counting how many of these there are. So This is not the greatest solution, but it'll work for right now. Let me just see what happens. Where am I looking at? Parser.js line 20 is the number of brackets, which is just 1. And I should really now include this as in the, so many things. I should have this just pull up here when I refresh the page. And do this. All right, so there were 2 brackets, and then there were 1 bracket. That makes sense. So if there were 2, the start is correct, while this.caret.index does not equal, and so I need to, so it's really this second while loop that I need to change. This is like a kind of an easy problem, but it's like I'm a tired person right now, and I need to eat lunch. So, and people are giving me all sorts of interesting suggestions in the chat. Yeah, it would be easy with recursion. Drop the get repeat function entirely. Ooh, hold on, there's some interesting suggestions. No need to count, just call commands equal this parse this dot text. Then change the parse command to skip. Oh, and return on a, won't that be the same problem? Oh wait, William, this is so fascinating here. Bracket count equals 1. The way I did it was count ++ for up. Close the repeat when count equals 0. Oh, I like that. Okay. Get all opening. Don't cry. We are with you. Reverse parsing. Put bracket count equal 1 in the second while. Oh, so many great suggestions. TMC is saying you only need to change the second while. I like this idea. So actually, let's go back. I like this. I like a different idea here. So Mathieu, this little, I was counting, which is fine. All right, I have a different idea now. What if, I think this like finding the first one and finding the last one in this weird double while loop way is kind of silly, because all I need to do is keep track of, I do need to find the first one. So let's stick with finding the first one. And then basically once I found that first one, bracket count equals 1. So now, what I want to do is while bracket count is greater than 0, I'm going to look at the character. If character equals an opening bracket, then increase the bracket count. Else, if it equals a closing bracket, then decrease the bracket count. And then I should have end should just now be wherever the index is, wherever it last left off. I might need to do -1, I'm not sure, right? So this should be like, I'm basically finding the first bracket, just in case there's like noise and spaces there. And then I'm going to pull out, I'm basically looking for where that last bracket is. And if the last bracket comes, bracket count will be 0. I'll be done. But if there are other brackets, it's got to keep counting. OK. I should never use my drum sound because it always means it's not going to work. All right. There we go. Thank you. This worked. I think this is done. That was really hard. Anybody else have any logo suggestions for me to paste in here? Oh, infinite loop. Andrew Murray writes infinite loop if not enough closing brackets. I'm not doing any error checking, but actually, since I'm live interpreting, I do need to do some error checking. All right, fine. One more thing. So while bracket count is greater than 0 and this dot remaining tokens. I should just call this should just be called remaining. Like remaining tokens is silly. It's not remaining tokens, it's like remaining stuff. So this should fix that. I mean, it won't draw correctly, but now, right, even if I do this, like it's not doing it correctly, but it's not breaking. So, you know, weird things like this, I just wanted to live interpret. So, all right, so, if you're watching this, thank you. This was a really fun project to work on. Well done, let's go home. Hold on. Error handling during pen up and pen down. That won't work. Okay. All right. I just want to find one other logo patterns. Oh, logo, turtle. Does this one find me an interesting one? Ooh, I like this. Forward, what's repeat count right 89? Oh, that's the number of times they're in the repeat? I won't be able to do that. I don't have that color. Like this one. Oops. This one looks like it's kind of cool. Decrease the stroke, yeah. All right. Rep count command will be good. Yep. Change the pen regex to stop that live editing error. Yeah. That's a good point. Oh, somebody suggested something. Repeat 8, write 45. The coding train, logo code, pull request number 3. Okay. Thank you, Tasteful Toasty. File, if you want me to try something, file it as an issue here, because that's where I can pull it up. I can't copy paste from the chat. Pull request number 3. Ooh, that's cool. Whoa. Oh, whoa. What? All right, but I need this as like a text file. That is crazy. That is amazing. So if you could paste me interesting things to try, pasting it in the chat does me no good. I mean, I guess I could pull up the chat on the stream, but I would prefer to grab it from the issues, I think. Oops. I don't see any new issues. Tasteful Toasty. I would love to run that. It's on the source on GitHub. Well, that's hard for me to find. Okay, I can do it. It's worth it. The fact that you did that, it's definitely, I will look for it. Number 3. Files changed. Got it. Got it. Not seeing it. $840 by $760. Is that why? Oh. Issue number 13 has it as a text file. Okay. Hold on. I just want to get this to work. I'm not in the right place. It doesn't start in the center. And what if I were to have the turtle start at 0, 0? There we go. Unbelievable. Still not big enough. This is crazy. Why is it not getting bigger? What happened here? Oh, because it's caching. Yeah, sorry, I forgot that sorry, I'm lost in the world of this like insane thing that I found. I don't know what's going on anymore. There we go. Okay, sorry. Start turtle at 2020, yeah. All right, there were some other interesting ones. Let me see here. Coding train logo, bunch of logo examples. Yeah, but I can't do any of the ones, I can only do the ones that, this one I could do. Cool. Okay, hold on. All right, hold on. And Interesting that that one's not in the center. But OK. All right. OK, let me finish this up. Whoops. Okay. Okay. All right. All right, so this is complete. It works. I'm very excited about that. People have pointed out some examples that I found. Like, for example, I could try to make this design. Let's see what happens if I post this in here. Right? We can say, oh, I'm kind of off, like where my starting point is off. But now I can start to really be creative. And the line is sort of thick here. So I also feel like now that I'm doing more complex stuff, I probably want to change the stroke weight back to 1. And we can see that looks a little bit nicer. I just want to show you something, though, amazing. If we go back to the logo repo before, this is the state before I've done this video, and I go to pull requests, and I go, for example, to pull request number 3 from the Tasteful Toasty, you can see here are a whole bunch of other ones that you can see. You can see that I could now try that should work with mine, and I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your mind. This. Let's make this work. Come on, we have to make this work. So I'm going to go, just before I leave, think about other creative things you could add. These are all the commands. I am going to now go into index.html. I'm going to put that in here. Hold on, what's going on here? Let me give a carriage return here. Let me paste in all of those commands. Now, I could now go back to here and do this. We don't see anything. So one thing that I really definitely need to do is give it a much bigger canvas. So let's go back to create canvas. We have to finish with this. 900 by like 900, something like that. Refresh. Whoa! There it is! Oh my goodness! This is nuts! But it's a little off-center. Let's change it to 2020 or 0. Let's actually just change it to 00. And make it a little bit wider. Whoops. There we go. It is the Coding Train logo made literally with logo. And all of these numbers here. I hope you enjoyed this video. There's so many things missing, right? There are all these logo. If you look at the history of logo and you look at the language of logo, there are lots of commands that I missed. So I'll list some of those in the video's description. Try to implement those. Or also, color. How would you incorporate color with this? How would you think of other clever ways to make this interactive in real time to allow people to play with it? So we now have a full interpreter here. I'm finished with this project. I can't wait to see what you make. I'm going to add this code to the this Coding Train logo repository, and I will accept pull requests for implementing other commands, bug fixes, adding things like color, making the interface a little nicer. So I'm probably going to close out most of those pull requests that were implementations of repeat. I thank you for them. But this will be now a community logo interpreter project that will start from the code that is in this video. Goodbye, everyone, and see you in future coding challenges. Okay. All right, everyone. That's going to get edited into something. Are we good? Did I miss anything super crazy? Whoa, this is so cool. All right. So what I'm going to do right now, let's do a little bit of management here of the repo. Let me grab this. Okay. So, oops, no, hold on. Let me, what I'm going to do is, I am going to now grab, let me get this back to just 200, 200, 100, 100. What's the 0? I forgot what that is. Oh, the angle. I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to put this back to this. And I am going to grab this stuff from the desktop, logo, command. I'm going to grab all these things. I'm going to go to documents, logo. I'm going to paste this stuff in here. Replace, replace, replace. I'm going to say git status, git add new version from live stream, git push origin master repeat parser. I'm just going to say new parser. So I am now pushing this to a new branch. Oh, somebody is banging on the door. I don't know what that is. I'm going to pull request this. Parser code from live stream. This pull request number 10 will be very sad. I'm sorry, Tony, and pull request number 10. This is the new code from the live stream with a parser object. And okay. Oh, camera's going off. And now I'll merge this. What the hey ho? And that was number 24. So now I have to go through and I'm going to write some nice. So let's look at all these. Let's take a minute to look at the work that all these people did. I'm going to close these things. So this is a implementation of repeat that, how does it work? Pre-process the string, and this is very similar to what I did. This looks quite similar to what I did in terms of counting the brackets. This is great. Okay. My own version today in 24. Thank you for this submission. And I'm probably going to just put this same comment in all of them. Implemented recursive repeat and the coding train logo. Oh, this is Tasteful Toasty who is watching right now. Thank you. This was so fun to include in the live stream. So thank you, Tasteful Toasty, for this implementation. This is really cool. This is great. Referenced it several times during the live stream. And And now we're going to add parser command before loop draw. Prepares object with function. Whoa, this is a really interesting solution. Today in 24. Okay. Now I am going, here we go, repeat implementation. This one is from Gwebin. I successfully implemented the repeat command. Awesome. Let's look at the code here. Once again, I should have looked at these, right? Nice little like bracket counting. And actually just repeating it. Great work. Whoops, oh, I'm in pull request number 12. I'm going to close this one. Now I'm going to go into, ooh, a turtle was added. This is another nice implementation. Oh, this is executing command, executing a stack. This is great. Parsing the repeats. And adding some like turtley stuff. Cool. Okay. With some similarities. Okay, close this one. Thank you everybody for the time that you took to submit these. Implement repeat for a turtle. This one is handle command. This is very similar to what I did, it looks like. Handle command function and parsing, fancy more parsing. Excellent work. Great work. Thank you, Fabricius. And now we're going to go. We've got 9 left here. Looping color and make everything gorgeous looking. Whoa. Oh, thank you for the README stuff. Oh, this is great. So, so let's see. Oh, whoa, this is really nice. Oh, so this would be, this I would love to, okay. So let me write here. This looks like it has some stuff that I could include. Love to include the color and some design improvements from here. Could you submit them as separate pull requests using the new parser stuff from number 24? Also, if you could include a clickable a demo run, a link to a demo running in the browser. This makes it easier to review, but screenshots are also good. So we're going to leave this open. We'll leave this one open here. That one's going to leave open. Add a very forgiving command parsing. Some more command parsing. Look at that. Nice error checking. Well, look at this. I like this. Eat. Eat the code. Next command. Oh, this is very similar. Next command. Like my next token thing. This is very similar. All right. We are now to visual redesign. Cool. Oh, excellent. Oh, I like that. Is that turtle, okay. Thank you. I can't type. Thank you. Lovely. How about we combine this with elements from number 10. Is the image of the turtle copyrighted? All right. So there we go. There's that. Repeat and drawing. Option to draw a train. Draw a train. Ooh, cool. Can you post? Maybe we can include interesting designs, like the train, as part of the README. Okay. Okay. Let's see, where are we? I feel like when else am I going to do this? So I might as well do this while I'm live streaming here. A better README. Thank you to Dan here. Okay. So thank you. I definitely want to improve the README to have more info about logo, the videos, and features related to this project. I don't think that I want to do voting at the moment, however. Thank you for thinking of this. Now that I have number 24. Okay, so thank you for that. I definitely would accept pull requests to fix up the README because there's nothing in there. Ooh, look at this. Ooh, it has that as the turtle. That's fun. Cool. Awesome. Wow, there's a lot of stuff here. Now that I have number 24, I am no longer looking for code to repeat, but I would accept a pull request with a nice turtle. As well as support for more commands. Maybe you can submit anything you want to pull. Please, let's see. Please feel free to resubmit. It's helpful if pull requests just address one new command, etc. Okay, so I'm going to close this one. And now, alternative for iterating the input and intent, a repeat for output. This one is from Renecura. And we can see, some excellent, some nice like tokens shift. Oh, there's some nice techniques here. Repeat function. This is great. That's wonderful. Thank you for this one. Chances, and more. What is this? So this is some kind of like pull request review system. Interesting. And a to-do list. Okay, oh, I like that. This is great, thank you. I think the to-do list would probably work better in the issues. And I'm no longer see my other comment, revoting, but I would gladly add informational stuff to the README. Okay, thank you for taking the time to submit this. Okay, now command parser. I slightly rewrote the commands parser. I have separate command lists into no args and one args. Oh, this is some excellent. This is interesting. So there's one arg and commands with two args. Interesting. That's new. I hadn't thought of that. Turtle is rewritten a bit here. I think 20. Whoops. Thank you so much for this. Great work. I implemented my own version today in number 24. Okay, we are getting through it. Okay, we've already got a real pull request here. Execute commands, repeat count. Execute commands I. If arg equals repeat count and repeat count command. Okay, this looks reasonable. Anybody who have any? I would love to see Henry 8086 in the chat. It looks like just submitted this pull request. So I definitely want to merge this. Obviously there's no unit testing for this project, so I can't tell if this is going to break anything. Looks totally reasonable to me. One thing that you can do, Henry, in a case like this is if you're hosting your branch via GitHub pages, you could then provide in the description here a link to it, so then I could click on it and see that it works. I'm going to throw caution to the wind here, and thank you very much for your efforts. I'm going to just add lots of nice emojis here, and I'm just going to throw caution to the wind, and I'm going to merge this pull request. Excellent. So that's that. I'm going to look at the issues now. Project now has its own implementation in number 24. So let's close this issue. Let's, I think I ended up just doing my own in number 24. Okay, that issue can be closed. Test data, what's this? Oh, look at this, choo-choo. Okay, wow. Amazing. How should we include these as part of the project? In the README? In a wiki? So let's leave that open. All of your submissions, please. You will continue to contribute. All right, a bunch of logo examples. Oh, awesome, thank you. Shall we add this to the README? All right, coding train logo. How do you do that? Oh, that's cool, awesome. So same sort of question here. And loops formula. Okay, and something similar I wrote. Add this. This would make more sense. Train website, if you like. So website, under here, wiki, community contribution guide. All right, so now under the issues, what's this? Oh yeah. Okay. A label, let's make a new label called examples. Oh, that's annoying. Let's make a new label called examples for related to example logo designs. And let's put that here. Let's label these. I guess this is also an example. We need a, this has a license. Let me actually add, well, I think I have the code of conduct actually for the coding train code of conduct, which is fine. So I'm not worried about that right now. Okay, so this needs README updates. What does the README need? Link to web demo, link to codingtrain.com challenge pages, link to information and history of logo itself. What else do we need on this home page? The README here, link to YouTube videos, and example logo designs. So things that I'm looking for to be added to the README. Okay. And this should be, let's call this documentation. Yeah, for related to documentation. Let's add that label. Okay. So some more pull requests. Okay. Okay. So and then I probably should make a create, okay. I'm going to add contributing.markdown and contributing guidelines need to add to contributing.md, link to code of conduct, information about about what you can contribute, which is design ideas, support for additional logo commands, and what else? Bug fixes. Just some, good to file. Okay, so there we go. So this is also documentation. And there we go. Okay, everybody. People are still watching this? So I did some cleanup to this repo. So This can be, I would love for people to continue to work on this. In theory right now, is this hosted with GitHub Pages? It is. So if I go here, this is what it looks like right now. But I would gladly, so this can all be improved now. All right, so it is 12:15. I think I'm finished for at least part 1 of today's live stream, which I've got one video out of. And now let me just look. Let me check a few messages here and figure out what I'm going to do this afternoon, because I'm going to come back. I'm just going to see here. So I'm just checking here to see. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, everyone. All right, so the things that I didn't get to. Sorry, I'm reading my email now. So much to do, so much to do. The things I didn't get to today are save and load your model with transfer learning, as well as working with the sketch RNN. Working with the Google Quick Draw data set. So I am going to come back. I think it would be good for me to take a lunch break. And I'm like free until 3, 4-ish. So what I'm going to do is, my goal is to come back between 2 and 4. So let me actually put that in right now. Let's say 2 o'clock. Studio, I'm going to actually create the event right now. And I'm going to go to live streaming. And I'm going to go to events. 2 p.m., by the way, is an hour and 40 minutes from now, my time. So I'm going to create, can I do like, no, I can't like duplicate this event. New live event. Quick draw data. I'm going to set this for 2 p.m. It's possible I would get started earlier, but unlikely. Ending at 4 p.m. And so let me create this event. And now set the ingestion settings, and okay, save changes. So now if I go to YouTube, the coding train, we should see here upcoming live streams. Huh. Did I not? Live in 99 minutes. How is that 99 minutes? Hold on. I don't know why it's not showing up. Maybe because I'm live streaming right now. It doesn't want to show upcoming live streams. There we go. So this is now, I'll set my reminder. This is now where I will be coming back in 99 minutes to do the Google Quick Draw stuff. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. I'm glad to have completed what is now really the completion of the Logo Coding Challenge. Any additional stuff will just be managed through that repository. I have to admit, like, my confidence level in my ability to continue to manage that repo is very low until I sort of work out a system for doing that better with the community and maybe have a set of repo managers. But at the moment, and so if you're interested in volunteering for that, I don't know that that's a, I hesitate to ask people to volunteer to do work that helps me, but that's certainly a possibility. All right. 98 minutes. What should I have for lunch? That's the question. I don't know. Thank you, everybody. I'll be back for a little bit more this afternoon. And I'm sorry, Buddha. And now I have to hit the stop streaming thing. Okay, where do I do that? That was exhausting. Stop streaming.